a rationale of environmental standards. Maximum permissible, there should be a limit. Can you see from this image? After production, this kind of industrial wastewater lets into the river. There should be a limit. We cannot send n number of water, that means thousands and thousand liter of water per day. So there should be a maximum limit, maximum permissible limit for the concentration, how much concentration of this waste should be and how harmful to the environment, those who are consuming this. Pollutant could be released, guarantees an acceptable health condition. Imagine if some industry is letting the waste into river. Government has put a standard that pH level should be 5.5 to 9. This is what the norms they have given. If the industrial waste is lesser than 5.5, it should not be letted into the river directly. What they should do? They should treat. If pH level is more than 9, what you have to do? Treat the water, bring the industrial wastewater limit below the 9, then you have to let into the stream like this. So this is what the regulatory, who makes the regulatory norms? Central Pollution Control Board. In India, this is a body in order to rationalize what are the things? Water. How water should be, or what is the limit to pollute the land, or what is the limit to pollute the air. They have set the standard for each. Now, this Central Pollution Control Board is being established in the year 1986, nearly 38 years. So it came to existence and they preserve on water issues. There is two classification of water standards. One is primary classification. Next one is secondary classification. What is primary standards are? The water first should not affect the health of humans. That is called what? Primary standard. What do you mean by secondary standards are? Apart from humans, who are they? There are environment, there are animals, there are ecosystem. It should not be harmed. That is called secondary standards. Environmental standard protects human health is called primary. For humans in the sense particularly whom? Vulnerable groups to children's, elderly people. What is secondary standards is safeguard environment. We have to protect smog, dust, damage to crops, flora and fauna. Yes. Industrial wastewater, after manufacturing something, it goes into 7 processes. First one is pumping station. The water will be pumped here. From industry, it will be directly pumped here. Second one is bar screen. This will be physically present in all the industries. All the suspended waste will be screened there. Can you see multiple ponds? Number 3 is called what? Grid and sludge removal. All the suspended particles will settle there. This is called grid and sludge remover. Next one is called primary sedimentation. Can you see this circle? This will be a large circle and there will be a boom and it will circulate into the water. Next one is aeration. Aeration means introducing oxygen to the water. Is called what? Aeration. Air. Introducing air or introducing oxygen to the wastewater. This is called aeration. Can you see this chamber? What they will do is they will sprinkle the water. Have you seen in parks? They are sprinkling water. For what purpose they are sprinkling? You can see water sprinkles, no? Even if you go to many parks, you have water shows. The water will sprinkle. What is happening there? All the water gets oxygen. If it is stagnated, the oxygen will not get. If you disperse the water, it gets oxygen, and this process is called what? Aeration. If you aerate, what happens? The living species there can live for a long time. If you are not aerating, what happens? The oxygen will get decreased. If oxygen decrease, what will happen? The living beings will cause health issues. Yes. Sixth one is final sedimentation. What do you understand by sedimentation? It gets settled. It's called sedimentation. And last one is called disinfection. After killing all the microorganisms, then can you see the water where it goes? River. Can you see the industrial water is taken in number 1. It goes through all the process and then it ends in the river. So this is what the normal process. The technical terminology, there are technical terminologies. The industrial wastewater, otherwise called what? Effluents. It is a technical name. So can you see this water? So I have shown you in previous slide. This is what process? Process number 4, primary sedimentation. This sedimentation is happening here. Now this is called effluent. The industrial water, what are the contents it should have, which is highlighted in effluent standards. Where are the places they let the industrial wastewater is? Stream. What do you mean by stream? Water course, it is river. River is called stream. River or small canals. From dam the water will go through canals, small canals. Then river. These are all called what? Streams. If the industrial water is letting into streams, there is a standard. If industrial water is letting into land, they can directly let it into the land. They can use for agricultural purpose. That is called land. Then it is called sewer. What do you mean by sewer? Sewage. Can you see each and every house? Outside their house they have some sewage. So that is called sewage area, and last one is ocean. Certain industry pump the water out and then they will let into the ocean. Ocean standards are there. Yes. Now effluent standards should have a classification system, and in order to upgrade the streams, there might be streams, there might be canals, there might be ocean, etc., land. In order to protect them, the stream should not be overloaded. That is why they provide what? Effluent standards. If there is no standard, what will happen? The streams will quickly get depleted. Example is Rishabhavati stream. Rishabhavati river is there now. Where it flows? Through the Kengeri. Can you see in Mysore road? The Rishabhavati river goes. Why it is polluted? Because the effluent standard is not met. The industrial wastewater has not met the standard. That is why the effluent is overloaded. Now, no control over total volume of pollutant substance added to the stream each day. This whole process is called wastewater treatment plant, WWTP. What do you mean by that? Waste water treatment plant. Every industry should have this. Even education industry, college is also an industry, no? So they should also have treatment plant. In our college we have a treatment plant. If we have some time, I will take you to the treatment plants. So what are the ways? Our college wastes are being taken, how they are being treated and how they are being letted out. So you have some components. So these are the parameters. When they check the water of industrial waste, what are the things they check? They check flow, BOD. What do you mean by BOD is? Biological oxidation demand. Oxidation is oxygen contents they will check. If lower oxygen contents are there, if you are letting the water into stream, what will happen? The fishes will die. Yes or no? Fishes needs oxygen. The industrial water doesn't have oxygen. If you supply there, then the fishes will die. That is why BOD should be checked. That is called what? Biological oxidation demand. That demand they will check. Then suspended solids, ammonia, etc. So these are the parameters they check before letting into the streams. Now, this is a standard which I took from Central Pollution Control Board. Monitoring of these parameters shall be done at a frequency of once in fortnight. What do you mean by fortnight? 15 days. Central Pollution Control Board will take samples in how many days? Each 15 days in a river they will check. Is it acceptable or not? Is the river or stream is under acceptable condition? They will check. Okay, what are the things they will check? You can see here. pH. All industrial wastewater, what is the range of pH it should have? 5.5 to 9. It should not go lesser than or more than this. Then chemical oxidation demand. That is called what? COD. Earlier what I said? BOD. BOD is called what? Biological oxidation demand. COD is called what? Chemical. Instead of biological, use the term chemical. So chemical oxidation demand. COD should be how much? 250 milligram per liter. They take 1 liter of sample, they check COD. If it is greater than 250, what they have to do? They have to recheck and introduce COD, introduce chemical before letting into the waste. Total suspended solids. Solid particles might be there. How much particles you can let the suspension? 100 milligram per liter. If you are letting into agricultural land, 200 milligram per liter. And last one is oil and grease. Industrial wastewater have oil and grease, but how much limit it should have? Only 10 milligram per liter. This is being checked in every fortnight, that is every 15 days. But there are further, how many parameters are there? Further 33 parameters are there that they will check once in a year. So every year the environmental audit they will come. During that auditing purpose, how many points they will check? 33 process they will check. Now let us see what are they. The industry people have 4 standards. What are they? Inland surface water. If the effluents are discharged in this kind of stream, that is called what? Inland surface water. The next one is called public sewers. Can you see this image? Sewage. Whatever sewage near the road, that is called public sewers. The industry will let the water in public sewers. Now our institution is letting the waste in public sewer. So this is what the example. Some industry can let the waste in public sewer. Next one is land for irrigation. Have you seen this kind of irrigation? This is called what? Sprinkle irrigation. The water is sprinkling, no? They will be having this kind of motors. The motors will move into the agricultural land. The water will sprinkle. They can use this kind of waste. Industrial waste they can use. So this should be the standard. So land for irrigation. Next one is marine coastal. Can you see this last image? The industrial wastewater directly goes into sea. Either you can discharge in sea or you can discharge in ocean. So these are the standards. What should be the color? What should be the suspended solids? How much it should be? 100 milligram per liter. So these are all in milligram. And can you see, if you are letting into irrigation, you can have higher what? Suspended solids. So these are the 4 ranges. And particulate of suspendable solids. If you are a civil engineer, you can dive into details. So since this is for your understanding, I am just giving you the highlight. So these are the following parameters. They check oil and grease, residual chlorine, ammonia. If environmental auditing they come into an industry, they check all these parameters. Either it is under a limit or not, they are going to check this 33 parameters. Yes, up to 39 you have there. Next, this is an interesting fact. How much water as waste the industry is discharging? This is a quantum. This is given by Pollution Control Board. Wastewater generation standards. If you are iron and steel industry, how much wastewater you can generate? 16 meter cube per ton. What is 1 meter cube? 1 meter cube is 1000 liters. So 16 meter cube is how many liters? 16,000 liters of water they can discharge as wastewater. That is the understanding here. Okay, which industry produces large wastewater? You can see here. Paper and pulp industry, sugar industry. Which industry has highest wastewater? Small pulp, fermentation industry, caustic soda, everything you have. Can you see this? Paper and pulp industry. This is the industry produces large waste. How much waste they produce? Viscous filament yarn. What do you mean by yarn? Yarns are threads, no? Have you seen this paper pulp? This is how they manufacture paper. For manufacturing paper, how much waste they produce? Paper and pulp, 175 meter cube. That means what? 175 into 1000 is how much? 1,75,000 liters of water they waste to create how much? 1 ton of paper. Can you understand? This much of waste is allowable. If they are going beyond that, then it is called non-standard. Now, which is highest? Viscous filament yarn. Have you seen this kind of yarns? These are all called yarns and threads. Viscous staple fiber is this one. This is costliest. For manufacturing 1 ton of this yarn, how much water they consume? 500 m cube. That means what? 5 lakh liters of water per tons of this material. That is why these materials are costly. Now textile industry, nylon and polyester. Have you seen this kind of materials? For overcoat you will use this kind of material. This is costly. Why? Because how much waste they discharge? 120 meter cube per ton. Viscous rayon. These are all viscous rayon. This much of waste they produce. Now these are the primary treatment items they do. Can you see this grid chamber? This is what I have explained earlier. A raw sludge will come. Primary and secondary treatment will be there. Before discharging, they will do disinfection. Yes. Then stream. What do you mean by effluent and stream? Effluent is called, industrial waste is called effluent. Stream is called what? River. Stream is called a river course. It's called a stream. So what do you mean by stream standard is, if your water is discharged into the stream should have a standard. If the people are taking water for drinking purpose, the quality of stream should be higher. So the quality of stream standards can be established by discharge classification system. If we are consuming that, then it will be higher standard. Non-consumption of humans, that is secondary standards. Nobody consumes is third standard, that is the last one. The primary objective for providing stream standard is to protect what? Each stream for best usage at upstream and downstream. What do you understand by upstream? There are two stages, upstream and downstream. So now I will tell you. Now, how many ways the water gets polluted? Can you see by this image? This is the image. From rivers or dams we get water. How many places it gets polluted? This is a plant pattern distortion. There might be a cement industry. They are discharging the waste to the river. You can see here. Now you have an uncontrolled urbanization, unplanned sewer. We are generating waste also, no? Not only industries are generating waste. For each and every household we have a waste. This is also discharged into river. Industrialization is also discharged into the river. We are dumping the waste, that also goes into the river. That is why the river gets polluted. Now, what is upstream side? Is nearby the dam is called upstream side. What is downstream side is, after all the waste, this is called downstream side. So, both the upstream and downstream side should have a best use. There should not be too much pollutant after the waste discharge. So pollution abatement, what do you mean by abatement? Reduction, pollution reduction, and decisions for concerning the location where a industry could be located has to be decided. Either it should be upstream or downstream. This location of industry has to be decided by deciding the stream standard. And last point is maintaining quality of water for present and future needs. For that you are making what standard? Stream standards. WWTP is wastewater treatment plant. So the effluent discharged from wastewater treatment plant has to have a standard for a particular water course. So these are the places where they take water for samples.